Morning. Just got done for the day. Did 2 overgrown lawns today and just dulled out my blades. That's my last set. So I got to do some little bit of maintenance on those, sharpen up some blades, and figured might as well show you how I do it. Got a whole pile of them here. These are all for the 48. These are for the 48. These are for the 36. Whenever I keep a bunch of sets around, that way I can keep a pile of sharp ones around, but then eventually towards the end of the month, after swapping them out every week, I end up just with a pile of them sitting on the workbench that need to be sharpened. So what I use is, shocker, another Harbor Freight tool, belt sander. Works pretty well. It's just got the belt on here, turn it on, belt spins around. It's with the blue belt that's made for sanding metal. It's pretty nice. The disc on the side I never use, I never installed it, but this does go up and down. Not really needed, but it does. So let me show you how I do it. Maybe that'll help you. We're always on the quest to try to find the best tool to sharpen blades. Not all of us can afford the RGB, whatever it is, or the one on Amazon that's kind of a Vivor or something like that. Same concept, but it's like $300. I can't afford that yet. I've just got other priorities that the money needs to be spent on. So I bought one of these. The reason I use it is because it is a flat surface sharpening a flat surface. I don't like to use an angle grinder because that is a round surface. Well, it's a cut-off wheel, but you get the idea. I can pick the stupid thing up. It's a round surface trying to sharpen a flat surface, so the angles get off. It's not completely flat like I like it. I don't like to use a die grinder because, again, that is a round surface trying to sharpen a flat surface. So what I found, I also don't like to use the bench grinder because it's a round surface trying to sharpen a flat surface. See the theme here? So I found this piece, or this sander, and it's flat. And so I'll show you how I use that. That's what I use every week. Works pretty well. So let me show you. So what I like to do first is sharpen the back side. Most of the pressure that I put here is just on this roller right here. It's not really set up to be able to just put it flat on there at an angle and let it run. So I usually do the bottom sides first, stick that on there and just zip, flip it over, zip it on down. That way it just cleans up the bottom edge to make it nice and flat. And then I actually get down and I look at the angle flat with the belt to make sure that it's the right angle as I'm pulling it through. As it's going, I'll set it down at the angle and then just pull it on back. Then set it down, pull it on back. I'll do that 3 or 4 times, and then I'll flip it over and do the other side. And then you never want to sharpen your blades without one of your little balancers. This was just a couple of bucks. You can find them at the hardware store. But you want to make sure that the blades are balanced once you're done sharpening them. That way it doesn't cause excessive vibration or any problems. See, nothing excessive on the bottom, just enough to get a shiny straight edge along both sides of the bottom of the blade. I'm going to flip it over, eyeball it, and then you can tell when you're getting a nice flat angle, because with the grass and the dirt that's on there, you'll start to see a nice even shininess going all the way down the blade instead of like this in the first pass where I've got a little bit of green still on here and then nice and shiny down here. You just want it to be nice and flat. You want to keep that factory angle, because if you're using like an angle grinder, you'll start to notice over time that this angle that's right here may start to become steeper, which makes it harder to cut the grass. So let's just finish up this side of the blade, see how it looks. So that right there, nice and shiny, all the way down, all the same angle, nice and flat. Usually I'm wearing gloves during this process because you can run through dog crap and poison ivy and everything. And I don't want that stuff on my hands. So usually what I do when I'm wearing gloves to see if it's actually sharp is I'll just pull up my shirt, my sleeve, and just kind of touch it to my arm right there to make sure, okay, yeah, I can feel a little bit of an edge on there. And that right there, that's all it took. This side is nice and sharp. So then you flip it over, do it to the other side, and then use your balancer to make sure it's nice and balanced. If it's heavy on one side, one side of the blade is hanging down, that's the side you need to take a little bit more material off of. That way it makes it a little lighter and it will balance the scales. So it's a simple process. It's just kind of a pain in the butt to do. It's just one of those parts of maintenance that's kind of a chore. But yeah, you just want nice sharp blades when you're going out. I sharpen mine every week. I swap them out. That way I'm not getting one set that's real worn down and sharpened a million times, and then other sets are sitting there being less used. I swap them out every week. Sharpen them, all of them, usually once a month whenever I get down to my last set. And that's how you do it. Nice and easy. I'm going to get back to sharpening this pile of blades. Y'all be good.